Hi guys, this is Andrew from Enabling Progress Conversations around the NDIS with Deb Lund, who is Busy Bee Support Coordination. So guys, media literacy, but I am kind of throwing you under the bus because we've tried to record this 3 times. Life update for you. In the financial year, you've had several people with ACAT and stuff. Obviously, we can't tribunal. Obviously, we can't mention that, but again, we're only recording once a month.
It's very interesting, though, with the tribunal stuff because, things have certainly changed. The last time I did tribunals was a couple of years ago now, and you can tell the difference with how they're approaching things. It's all about capacity building. Now, how are the support workers going to capacity build him? Like, I've got someone that's 2 hours away from the physio. Obviously, they need to be driven to the physio for appointments. They're important appointments because, there's quite a bit of physical stuff going on. And, he's quite some distance away. And the NDIA lawyer, the planner wasn't there, but the lawyer was there.
Yeah.
And it was lawyer. Oh, yes. And even for a case conference, it was all very, yes. And of course, they questioned as a support coordinator, what are you doing in here? Do you have any interest in the financial outcome of the decision? If you do, then we're not having you here. The whole works and jerks. So they're really pushing back on people having advocates, who the advocates are. Yes, what's happening in that arena. You've got a lawyer, for goodness sake. Like, it's not like normal people sitting down and having a chat and going, well, this is a problem we've got. This is why we've got this problem. We need more funding because of this, this, and this. And then you keep getting this, but I'm worried about the capacity building. And it sounds a lot more like it's a transport problem. And I went, yes, there is going to be a transport problem as far as kilometres and funding is concerned. However, who is going to drive the car if a support worker doesn't do that? Because he can't drive a car that far, do those appointments and come back again, like a 6-hour turnaround.
Oh, yeah, that'd be even for someone who is considered normal capacity.
Well, it's a big day. And for someone that's got fatigue issues and physical mobility issues, that's huge, really huge. And it was like, well, the support workers that's why we're chasing hours, because we need hours to get this person to where they need to go. Oh, but how are they going to capacity build him? It's kind of like their expectation is all about what's going on, how are we going to capacity build. We haven't got enough evidence around that capacity building, what the support workers are actually doing. Because I guess, there's been a bit of a hammering about support workers sitting around on their phones. There's been that kind of stuff going on in media.
And also, this is going into the media of, there has actually been media being paid to push that narrative.
Well, it suits the government because unfortunately it keeps the general public at a point where look how much money's been taken up. Look how much fraud's happening. Look what the participants are doing. Oh my God, they're doing they're going on a holiday. They're doing this. They're doing that. Now, if you live in a home, well, still people don't get it. Supported independent living people don't get STA, and they've certainly made a lot of differences with all of that now. But even to go away, the expectation is that you go away with multiple people. So it's like a 1-to-3 or a 1-to-4. It's not even 1-to-1 STA now.
How is that a break from every life if you're on a ratio you're just on a ratio with different people and you're still at the same pace?
Well,
and this is the thing of, like, who's the respite really for?
Well, that's the thing, because it's meant to be for people that are living at home with family. It's meant to be something that they have from a break from family. Family has a break from them. But I mean, in general, they're going to a day program or wherever, where they're ratioed with other people anyway. How, they're talking about capacity building. And yes, it depends on the person. It depends on the disability, just what you can do in regards to capacity building on a trip like that anyway. I mean, we're not talking about, you can't go out of state. They're expecting you to be within a couple of 100 kilometres of where you live. There's no out of state travel. Honestly, cruises and things like that, well, seriously, that shouldn't have been happening anyway.
No.
So obviously
it shouldn't.
The mickey was being taken, clearly. But not everybody did that. Like, not everyone, a lot of people did it properly and they did it as it should have been done. But when you live with people on an everyday basis and you go away, why do you want to go away with other people that you don't even know? Half the time you don't even know them, in a group of people, 3 people with 1 support worker. Like, how is that? Because you're in a whole new environment. And then in addition to that, you've got people that you don't know, in general, people that you don't know. Sometimes it is a group of people that know each other, which is great. But as we all know, it's not easy when you take someone out of a common environment and put them into something different. Things don't always work well. So, and I'm sure even with the day trips that there's things that happen on day trips that, people have meltdowns that they wouldn't normally have meltdowns because they're in a different environment, different situation, different, like if they've gone to SeaWorld for the day, like, you've got crowds, you've got a whole different thing, like, it can be very hard for people to adjust themselves.
And the other one with that is if it's a usual support worker, because there might be a difference between the usual support worker and the other person, and if they're on a group, is that person undertrained? If that person is on a budget, have they got to cut lunch and the support worker not paying attention to that person doesn't realise that they need the lunch opened for them?
You've got all kinds of things like foods and things, and the government's idea of, if you go away, you're meant to go into a respite home, so you haven't got familiar staff with you. So, the whole thing of taking your staff with you is something that they don't seem to want. And it's like, well, why would you do that? Because you've got familiar people with you going into an unfamiliar environment. Wouldn't that be easier? Why would you want to go somewhere? And how are you going to travel there anyway without someone taking you? Like, the thinking around some of this stuff has just got me,
Is this referencing our other episode of When Did Common Sense Have a Funeral?
Well, yeah, absolutely, because they're not thinking around things, and that's been the case all the way along, of course. But this is supposed to be an individual based thing.
Yeah.
And how does that stay as an individual based thing if you're going to baseline everybody and say, no, you have to do this, you have to do that? Again, we're losing choice and control for our people with disabilities. We're making it difficult for them to get out into community, to be able to go away. Even a day down the beach is hard work. It shouldn't be hard work to do those things. And then the question, of course, is, how did you capacity build them while you were doing that? So
it's a really yes, minister answer, because sometimes that day at the beach is capacity building. How did they budget it? How did they fund it? Did they get the Marie's coach down?
Mental health and well-being. What about that alone is huge. I mean, we don't want people with disabilities becoming shut-ins. We don't want that. We want you out there. We want you out there in the world with us, doing things with us, not shut away. I mean, we've gone through that, went through that for years, and everybody's, and we still know that we have parts of the general public that just don't know how to accept that. But the majority of people are with it. Like, absolutely, they want to see you out and about and down the beach in your wheelchair, and they find all different ways to make things happen. I've seen mates carrying them. Four mates carrying them down so they can sit in the water. These are things that you do.
I know some of the beaches now have the wheelchairs that you can rent.
Oh, yes, with the big wheels. And some of them have got like boardwalk kind of stuff that they lay down to make it easier for people in wheelchairs and prams and goodness knows, anything with a wheel, really. Just to make their life easier. So,
And I know the theme parks up here are really good with guest services as well. And I think one of them who offers a buffet breakfast got sick of people making a few sandwiches on the slide. They now offer what they call a lunchbox option as part of their thing.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because guys, don't steal from the buffet breakfast. Just don't. No, my update for me is poor Bob, all of her hard work with bus training.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what's happening next Monday?
Oh.
Yeah, there's a new bus timetable rollout. However, she is confident that I will be able to get around for the simple reason of the hard work that she's done of I got read the riot act of I have taught you to be on the right side. You shouldn't have missed that bus.
Yeah.
So, guys, that's our life update. So, we're going to go into media literacy, which is so crucial at the moment.
Yeah.
Did you notice at our last episode, we actually used the media trope ourselves without realizing it? We were mentioning who put the millennials in charge? Media trope. So, guys, media literacy is essentially situational awareness around media. So, it's like the core question at it is who do we decide to trust and why? So there's a actually really big difference between information and opinion. So what is information versus what's opinion? Entertainment and education, advertising and journalism, evidence and antidote. Antidote, we are going there. Type of thing. The viral poop knife. Do you know the poop knife story from Reddit?
Oh, yes. Yes, I remember it. I'm not sure we want to go there again, do we?
Let's not. Guys, links down below for Museum of Reddit. But then, okay, questions to ask because when we were doing the research for this, it's really basic question to ask. And I was taught this. I realised that I have the advantage that I was taught this as part of Year 10 Media Studies.
Oh, well, I certainly didn't have media studies when I was going through Year 10. We had the old floppy disk. We had actually no, we were past the floppy disk. We had the little square disks, the hard plastic ones.
Still called a floppy disk. That were a hard disk though.
Oh, were they? Yeah. Anyway,
for our younger generations, the save icon was actually a disk.
Yes, that's right. It was too, and it was the white box computer sitting on a white box, and we had a little green cursor that blinked.
So you wore Linux or MS.matrix?
I couldn't tell you that. I'm not techie.
However, ask you about show me where this is in the legislation. You can point me to the paragraph.
Well, unfortunately, unfortunately, we have to kind of try and keep up. And look, there's a whole stack of stuff coming out on the 1st of July, and then there's more in October.
Okay.
So they've delayed some things for October, and then it'll be very interesting to see how these things really roll out because the NDIS is not very good at keeping to a timetable, as we all know.
I was about to say something about the buses there, but one of our councillors listens to it for our podcast, so
Not bad though, are they? I thought the buses were pretty good.
Getting to between 7:30 and 9:30, they seem to have a guaranteed run on time. Between 5:30 and 9, they seem to run on time. But because Bus Queensland up here seems to have a staffing issue with buses, the lunchtime ones seem to be questionable. Hence why I use a taxi or a PA to get me to work for those shifts.
Oh yeah.
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 So
it's good that there's a bus system though. Anyway, so
it is, and please use it. Like, I say that and I criticize it, but again, freedom of the press. Well, we are this media ourselves.
Yeah, and any business can improve as they go along. But I mean, of course, staff is always a issue. Your staff come and go, staff retire, staff, decide that they're going to move on, staff move towns, and, you just get them to a point that they're doing really well, and you can, you just know that they just know what they're doing, and then all of a sudden they're gone. So, and that applies across the board. And that happens with support workers quite often too. Like you can get them trained to a point where they know what they're doing. They can walk into a cell house and they know those people. They know exactly what they're doing in that house. They can swap shifts and go to some other house and do the same thing. And then they move to the Gold Coast or something, and you've lost a worker that you've spent months getting to that point where you know that they're reliable and able to do it. And then you've got to kind of start all over again. And it's the same with anything. It's, it's a constant issue, the staffing thing. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what is media literacy, guys? Is information. Yep. So questions to ask is, who made it? What end are they trying to achieve? So for us, we are trying to get accurate information, unbiased information about the NDIS out there. The NDIS have their own podcasts. However, it's the NDIA doing that podcast. So you've got to ask the question, why? Why did they make it?
It's very interesting how, like I was just, while you're talking, I was just thinking back to when we first got the internet on, and I was, my then husband and I were running a video shop at the time, pre-kids. So we're talking 40 years ago. Yeah, it would have been 40 years ago.
So we're not talking DVDs, we're talking VHS and the Pizza Hut next door.
Oh, definitely VHS, yes, absolutely. Yes, Pizza Hut. Oh, well, not so much. We had a little shop in a strip of shops down in Victoria. Where you got your hairdresser and your milk bar and your fish and chip shop and things like that. We had a TV repair shop next to us.
Sorry, milk bar. I'm just going milk bar. We need a decent greasy spoon back in Toowoomba.
Milk bar. Well, you know what I mean. Like,
However,
your corner shop.
For our international listeners, our greasy spoon is pretty much our version of a local Waffle House. However, it was more like a diner. There's a TikTok creator, diner type of thing.
Yeah, it had everything. It kind of did all the milk barish kind of stuff, and then you got your burger with, a big fat burger, and you got your fish burger, and you got your fish and chips and your potato cakes and things like that. And the greasy spoon reference is to because everything was deep fried.
Or it was on the Sunday morning recovery breakfast. The regulars would walk in, and you knew the food was good because there was this old lady, hair up, rollers, immaculate makeup, and then that's what I have, doll.
Yeah.
Again, and guys, we are actually doing something quite clever here. We are actually using media tropes. So, guys, spot how many you can spot in the end of the episode. Don't spoil the fun. In the next episode, we will surprise you with how many tropes we have used, and they are all from things that are currently on free-to-air TV as well. free-to-air, and
Yeah.
some are from Netflix going to free-to-air. And so the other one to ask is who benefits? So who benefits from this piece of information? So who is benefiting from the narrative they're telling? Because
my biggest concern with media is that media will tell you what they want you to hear. Media will tell you the sensationalism stuff. Media, it's all bad. Like, the news is all, oh, well, this happened and that happened and this person got shot and that person got stabbed and there was a car accident and 3 people got killed and there was, and there's a big war overseas and this is going to happen and that's going to happen and we're going to have fuel shortages and food shortages and blah, 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 blah. And where's the good stuff? Like, I, I must confess, I'm not into Snapchat or I don't know. Andrea knows them all.
Snapchat, TikTok, Be Real.
I've never heard of it.
Now, right. But you do Instagram Reels because
no, I don't. No, I do Facebook Reels.
I've got some bad news for you, girlfriend. They're the same thing, just repurposed.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, because you can actually link your Instagram to your Facebook and have them sync
across. I don't have Instagram.
What you're actually seeing is generally someone's Instagram reel being posted to Facebook.
Oh, okay. Anyway, that's what I do. I get on Facebook, have a look at Marketplace and play with the reels. That's what I do. That's as far as I go.
Yeah.
Because, I basically don't have the time, to be honest. By the time I follow up on all the newsletters and try and keep up with what the NDIS are doing, and then you get into plan meetings and then you find out that there's other things that they're doing that you don't know anything about because, hello, they're so transparent. But, that's what's goes on in my world, I guess.
And this is the thing. This is where transparency is key. Apps like Ground News and stuff. If you're listening, Ground News, we'd love to have you as a sponsor as well.
Yeah, I want real news. I want stuff that's real and true and gutsy, but has interest as well, and it's not all bad all the time. Like, look, the NDIS has done fantastic stuff. It's been fantastic for a lot of people. It's enabled people to be able to get out of homes and not having to live with family. Not that it's a bad thing, but it gives everybody that breathing space. They can be that a bit independent and all the rest of it. The problem is that unfortunately the charlatans have come in and rated it as much as possible. And unfortunately, when it was set up, it wasn't set up well, and it didn't think around those things. Unfortunately, these days, in order to run a business, you've got to think like a criminal, unfortunately. And how can I get into this? How can I hack this? How can I rip this off? Because that's what they're doing. And scammy stuff like. Even just before, we were talking about a scammy thing that had come up from the ATO. It wasn't the ATO at all, but it was a scammer trying to, oh, well, my gov this and my gov this and ring this number. And it's like, no, and it's just scam stuff. So it's something you've got to be so careful of. And I've gotten that way now that when I get odd things like that, I get onto my admin who does IT as well and say, check this out. Is this real? And he'll go, nah, get rid of it.
And that's the other thing, that if you don't know, ask a trusted adult. And for the disabled community, that could be a support.
Ask a teenager. They know. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, that you're like anyone under 40, pretty much, or anyone under 30.
Yeah.
They're so with it in and around that scammy stuff. And it is really hard to deal with some of the media stuff that's going on.
And this is where we're actually about 3 pages ahead.
Well, they talk about fake news. There's so much fake news getting around as well. Like, let's reel that in a bit. Like, and our kids are so influenced by what's going on TikTok or Instagram and all these influencers out there. And I was watching something on Netflix, and it was about the Manoscope or something.
Oh, the Manosphere. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my goodness. And that attitude, and these people are influencing what's happening out there, and people are picking that up.
So for my regular listeners, it would be the Red Pill Manosphere movement. So the Red Pill, yeah.
What was his name, the guy that was doing that? He does quite often on Netflix. He has those different programs where he goes and investigates things, and
I don't. Oh, Louis Theroux.
that's it. That's it.
Do we need to hit pause? That's Archie. Is that someone? Do we need to hit pause?
No. He's just heard a car door close. That's all. Because
So
he's on high alert.
So
Oh, it's the bin man. That's what it is.
So guys, we've talked about phishing, we've talked about scams. Passwords. This is where your two-factor authentication. So it's having the SMS to your mobile to put it in as well. So that's your biggest security one at the moment as well.
Yes.
Because
the NDIS is doing it. Who else did that the other day? Someone else did that with me the other day too. And I
know on MyGov, which is our basically social security, it's our Medicare, it's our NDIS now. It's your electronic health records, it's social support, so like your income benefits type of thing as well. They do that because most of their services are online or it's that. And it is easier to go into book online instead of walking into a service centre and wasting your whole day as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, there's so many advantages with what has happened with online services and all of that kind of stuff. There's so many advantages. It's just awareness of what potentially is out there.
It is, and this is why we're doing this episode. And the other question to ask is, what is missing from this narrative? So is it I do have left and right leaning, but basically like the left is social DEI. So left and right come from a political perspective of the left is more social, it's more collectivism type of thing, where the right is market capitalistic type of thing as well. And then the other one, especially Reddit, TikTok, YouTube, even us, is where can I verify this information? Where did they? And apologies, poor Bob and I are 3 months behind in show notes.
Oh, okay.
And so the other one is it free? Who's paying? So social media search engines, free apps, and online platforms. The cost might be your attention.
Nothing's free. Nothing.
It could be advertising, it could be behavior tracking and data collection. So if you're looking at, say, hairdryers for Mother's Day, and it's going to then send you hairdryers, makeup, heated slippers. I got heated slippers the other day. Heated slippers.
It's interesting. Is that now it's like I don't have Siri or anything on my phone because it's always listening. It's always listening to what you're doing. But as soon as you go and look at something, that just seems to be the I was looking at cookbooks.
Yeah.
So then I got all of this stuff because I was looking at specific things for a specific range of diets, for a health thing. So then it's just started feeding through all of that I'm like, go away. Like it's kind of like the algorithm is in the background all constantly trying to feed off of whatever you do and feeding it back to you,
Oh, it is. And this is the thing, like, who is benefiting? And always, it's a bit of paranoia, but I always assume that my phone is listening. I always assume.
Yeah.
So that's one we didn't have on the run sheet, but a really good movie is Snowden, about Edward Snowden and the mass surveillance that goes into Five Eyes and the FISA courts of the mass surveillance of US citizens. Um, guys, the Y Files also do a really good article on it. So, guys, some books to read to educate yourself on it. And we've done this as a couple of sections. So, we've done this as classics, extra credit, and books that support workers should have read. Okay?
Okay.
So, first one is Gonzo Journalism, so Fear and Loathing on the Campaign Trail, by good old Hunter S. Thompson. So it's Gonzo journalism for a reason. You know Gonzo from the Muppet, who always puts himself in the story. That's where it comes from. George Hunter Thompson put himself as part of those stories, type of thing. And the bias is made very, very visible. That one. Then, oh my god, I've just rediscovered him. This is my parents' generation. George Carlin, the late great George Carlin, especially his stand up on what he calls soft language as well. So he does a bit on 1984 through George Orwell about Newspeak, and he does it how we've gone so far from Newspeak. We use soft language. So
we got to be politically correct these days, haven't we?
Well, this is actually what he goes through.
Yeah. You know, I had favourite bickies when I was a kid, and they were called gollywogs, and they were just fantastic. They were these little chocolate gollywog bickies, and they were wonderful. And now they call them scallywags. And I just think, like, it's, you know, and it's like coon cheese became cheers or something else, and it's like, yeah, come on, guys, like everybody's offended by something these days. Like it's just like seriously, it's just these things were icons for generations, like, you know.
And for Australians, gollywogs don't have the offence that they do because they were gifts given.
Oh, they were beautiful.
They were.
I love
they in Australia. They weren't actually a trope. They were gifts given.
Yes.
To soldiers coming home from the Western Front as well. So they are heritage. They're not the tropes that America has. And I have to say, there's a creator that's not on our list, but I love her, Robin Thompson on TikTok. I'll have to find her. She has a really important point. Offense is not harm. That is why she talks about a lot of things politically from a gender perspective. And people have called her out for not putting trigger warnings on it. She's like, why? Because offence is not harm. She's like, there's a difference between genuine hate speech that's going to violate community guidelines.
Yeah.
Type of thing as well.
And it's not that, I mean, the thing is, different generations have had different things as we go along. And like, you know, I'm coming up one of those really big ages, which I'm not going to say. But you know, like, you know, I've come through a generation that we didn't have mobile phones. We, you know, like we had black and white TV for years at home before we got a colour telly. You know, we had the old dial phone that you pull the cord as far as you could so you get some privacy. We had, you know,
shout out one of the private schools. It's looking for one of those. So if you have one in their back cupboard, please get onto the school. It is on the Toowoomba Facebook page who is looking as well. Just thought I'd put that out there, being a community resource as well. So a lot of our listeners are in Toowoomba and the area. So guys, first time we've actually revealed where we actually live as well. So yeah. But no, and yeah, you.
But I mean, a lot of things that we would just say out of hand because they were sayings that we just used, people would now take offence to, and it's like it's not even meant that way. It's not, you know.
And also for reference, Coon cheese was actually where the town was made from.
Yeah,
it's where it was made. And there's a whole vibe around there that we don't have time to go into.
Yes, no.
And also, I'm gonna do
it's like a yeah, nah.
Yeah. And so books, this is Habits and Self-Development. Atomic Habits,
which I still haven't read. You know, wasn't it last year we tried to do kind of like a book club thing where we tried to read a book every month? I just haven't got there.
I have got some bad news for you. It's the year before when we were actually planning the podcast and it hadn't even gone live yet. But
Yeah.
saying that, you are an independent support coordinator. Let's just say the hours you work are horrific.
Oh, well, yes, sometimes you can work well into the night. And I know a lot of support providers out there are doing the same thing. We have a lot of independent support workers who go, oh, this is so easy. Not if you're running a business properly, it's not. It's not when you've got employees, not when you're doing all of those extra things. And of course, as we go along, the NDIS is going to determine that they're going to make everybody be registered, which should have happened in the first place. I do believe that anybody directly supporting people with disabilities, our vulnerable people, should always have been registered and compliant. How they police that, though, is another question. But
that's a whole other podcast.
Oh, it sure is. But and that's the big problem. That's why it's just gone absolutely stupid, like it has, because they haven't been able to control it, and they open the door to that.
Yeah.
They let that happen.
And then obviously he's a bit controversial, but Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules for Life. And look, I've even applied some of his rules to my life, and my life has got abundantly better. It seems very 1950s advice, but he's speaking to millions as well. Clean your damn room. Well, I'm sleeping better at night because my room is clean. I've got clean sheets. So it's doing those little things first, those 5-minute jobs, before you do the fun stuff. Makes the fun stuff much more enjoyable. Aiming at something. Well, I've gone back to a bricks and mortar job as well. So that is huge as well. Then again, going back to technology and screens, love this book. This would have to be if I was on a desert island type of thing. How would I take it? Our Winter of Disconnect by Susan Marshart. She is a ABC podcaster. And so back in 2018, she took all screens, I mean all screens, including mobile phones, out of her house for 12 months.
Wow.
Including her kids' laptops. The only time the kids were allowed to access the internet was through their school libraries for school research. The most hilarious moment is the kids were bored, so they went grocery shopping. They were having a full-on argument over egg rings. Egg rings. Okay, should we get the silver ones? Should we get the Teflon ones? Should we get the silicone ones? And Mum was like, okay, we're standing in Coles arguing about thing, and all these grannies are pushing their trolleys past with this knowing smile. And she writes in the book of the grannies going past as well, hey, at least you're teaching the next generation how to cook.
Yeah.
She found out that her teenage daughter, her bolshy, grumpy personality, wasn't actually her personality. It was sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
And that their grades improved, their sleep improved, their time as a family improved. The son rediscovered music. Then the other one I'm currently reading, which is a bit of an update, but from an American's perspective, it's Green People. It's like that we've entertained ourselves into a state of emergency. Critical thinking is at an all-time low.
And I think people are mega stressed because of media and what's out there, and there's so many people that are so stressed because you're being hit with it all day, every day. If you allow that to happen, it is there all the time. You can watch news 24 hours a day if you want to watch news 24 hours a day. It's there, it's available. It's not like, you know, we look back at those times when the shops used to close at 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock on a Saturday and not open again till Monday.
Yeah.
And families were actually going down to the lake and having barbecues and doing things together and doing the barbecue Saturday night thing or Saturday afternoon catching up with mates. Whereas now shops are open all the time. So speaking of which, last Sunday I needed to get some cat food. So I ran down to Aldi and I was flat out getting a park in the car park I could not believe it, hey. And it's just because it's all available. People don't have any more money. It's just that it's spread across 7 days a week instead of 5.5.
And I know some stores who are family friendly, values driven, are choosing not to open on Sundays, because I was in that situation where I was working late nights, weekends, and yes, I chose that lifestyle, but there was circumstances leading up to it that I couldn't have prevented that as well. So it is.
It's very much the, I want it now. I'm going to have it now, and if I can't have it now, I'm going to have a meltdown and turn into Karen.
Yes, yeah. However, I like the Melissa trope where Melissa is asking to speak to the manager, but she's polite about it. She's like, hey, am I in the wrong here? Is this a training issue? How can we resolve it? Instead of Karen, who just wants everything her way, the Melissa trope is, hey, there's something wrong. Here's how we can resolve it. Can we get to this point?
Yeah.
Which I think is a much kinder concept. And then the other one is that I've actually read this one about 4 times. I had to read it in high school. Guys, if you're a support worker supporting someone creating content, I reckon that this is a must read. Manufacturing Consent, Norm Tonke and Edward Harmon. It actually even lists, they've done an update during COVID where it lists all the YouTubers who were sponsored by political organisations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Manufacturing consent.
Manufacturing consent, the rise of the mass media. So it goes through who's politically backed, the bias as well. And that directly leads into some of our news channels. So they go through.
They do.
Literally, I'm going to put myself at risk here. They go through Murdoch Media. They go through the difference between Murdoch Media and Access Media and so PBS, what we would call SBS over here, public funded channels and stuff like that.
Look, when there's an election coming up, you can see by the rhetoric that's coming through from the different TV stations who they're supporting. Very interesting. Very interesting to watch.
And then the other one is, and this is on Dr. Jordan Peterson's reading list. He has actually done like a general education reading list, The Coddling of the American Mind. So it goes through how the No Child Left Behind policy has left 95% of Americans functionally illiterate.
Oh, that's terrible.
Does that explain their political climate at the moment?
How does what do you mean by No Child Left Behind?
So No Child Left Behind was a policy that a mayor of New York started of, okay, well, if this child wasn't performing at the grade level, they were going to have interventions put in place to get them at that grade level.
Yep.
However, what it has turned into is them just passing off, okay, well, you turned up for school, you did the work, no interventions, nothing there. You still get to graduate because you turned up.
Because I've seen in Australia, I've seen where students have not been coping, but they've been pushed up into the next grade because of their social well-being. Yeah, because their friends are going up, so they need to go up. They're not coping with the school and the schooling and the level of schooling education that they're in. Why push them up another year where they're certainly not going to cope, and then they start to fall through the cracks because it's they're already fallen through the cracks.
We are recording on a Friday afternoon, guys. It seems to be the only time we can match up, and we get a bit loopy by then. Like I'm on my third coffee of the day, and you've got end of year stress. End of financial year.
Yeah, it's starting to wind up, and we just haven't had a breather. Like usually we start to have a breather at the start of May, but it just hasn't stopped this year. And people are stressed. People are very stressed because of the changes that are coming up, and we really don't know. And every plan that comes through is, you've got to check all the funding. You've got to check everything to make sure that look at the previous plan and go, wow, why has that been changed? What's happened there that's been changed? And then, when you do your internal review, which, for outside viewers is within 100 days of a plan dropping, you can do an internal review. And you can add documentation to that. Don't ever let anyone say to you, you can't add documentation. You can add documentation to any internal review, and make sure you put that through when you request your internal review. And but you don't have the opportunity of being in a plan meeting with a planner, a separate planner to the one that did your plan or produced the first initial plan. Will be doing it, so it's a separate planner. But you don't have the opportunity to have a say at a plan meeting as such. What you have the opportunity to do is to add. Oh, that's terrible, dog. Archie's sitting here between us.
And there's just a lot of officer, the deadly one again. Happened last week.
It's terrible.
Sorry, plan review.
And then of course, if the internal review comes back and it's hasn't been changed, and they will have an explanation, there will be a letter to explain why they didn't change it. If you're still not happy, then you're looking at tribunal.
Okay.
Now, tribunal of old used to go into hearings and deal with that. They would try and negotiate beforehand. Now they're doing case conferences, so they're trying to head off the actual member of tribunal making a decision. So they're trying to negotiate early with the participants. But do be careful of that as well. Make sure that you keep in your mind what your needs are. And yes, there may be a little bit of negotiation room there, and that's okay. Negotiate around that, but negotiate it. Don't railroad. Don't let them, don't let them just walk across you. Because that's what they want to do. They try to bulldoze with the having a lawyer there, but then like they talk about, you can't have your support coordinator, you can't have your supports provider there as an advocate for you. They talk about, here's a list of advocates. Well, the list of advocates is interesting because you can ring around, but then they'll go, oh, what area are you in? Oh, no, you have to go to the advocate for that area. So when they give you a list of advocates or offer a list of advocates, try and find your own. But yeah, it's something to be very aware of. That the advocates are limited, they're overstretched. They're usually like 6 months behind. So it might be you might get an advocate by the time you get into at the actual tribunal. They will offer legal aid. So you can do a session with someone from legal aid around the NDIA legislation. And in the meantime, they're sitting up there with an external lawyer, who I would bet would be a minimum of $600 an hour.
Yeah, and I'm going to pull you back in because this is a media one.
Yes, media, yes.
But normally it's me going off on tangents, so
yes,
it's your turn. Yes. So the other one is communication, a classic, how to win friends and influence people.
Oh, yes.
And then this is our more science big ideas, and it kind of crosses over into general knowledge, especially if you've got like higher educated participants.
Yeah.
A short history of nearly everything, Bill Bryson. Really great read. I got that one for Christmas. Really, really great gift. Guns, Germs and Steel, Jared Diamonds, which goes through how different parts of the world are developed with their resources type of thing, and due to where they were, how policies developed, and the short history of the world, Pearson education, because so many people don't know world history and are wondering why politics is the way it is at the moment internationally. I'm like, pick up a history book, guys. It'll make you understand it. Then the other one is so this is our extra credit section. Is classics. To Kill a Mockingbird, Of Mice and Men, and Catcher in the Rye. Yeah, you're nodding in agreement with classic.
I haven't read any of them.
Year 10.
Well, isn't it?
Year 10 for me was those. Now, extended credit section, especially for those who have like higher functioning participants, just to be able to catch up with them as well. And
Yes.
please remember, your participants can be a resource as well. Like what they do, the knowledge they have, don't discount that as well.
Oh no,
especially
that's for
your
sure.
low support needs people as well. Then really, really extended credit. Heart of Darkness. I am still trying to get through that one, but taking a break at the moment. Animal Farm, 1984. And this one has been done into an independent movie on YouTube TV, Man in the High Castle, Philip K. Dick. So it explores alternative history. It literally goes into what if Nazi Germany won World War II.
Wow.
So
yeah, that would have been interesting.
So it explores that one. Now, this section is content creators as well, because you have time for content creators, but not time to sit down and read a book. So, disability and life experience, obviously us enabling progress conversations around the NDIS and my own channel, Annie's Escapades. We have one out at the uni that is a fascinating one called I Am Not My Crime. So it goes into people who have been institutionalized for low risk crimes, what led up to that, what circumstances led to them being before a magistrate essentially as well. SBS Food. This one I think is essential because I'm very open minded. I'm like, hand over the recipes. I'm sick of my stream meat and veg. Cooking with Zach and Kyle, which was our executive producer's recommendation as well. Also, can I be a bit mean and say something that the CWA, that the support workers should have in their back pocket is The Cook's Companion?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And CWA 100 Years in the Country.
Oh, yeah. The CWA books are very good.
For our international listeners, CWA is the Country Women's Association. Basically, if you have seen the movie Calendar Girls, it is the Australian version.
Yes. Yeah, very much so.
Now I have two lists of podcasters.
Oh.
Podcasters and things. One is around mental health. Trigger warning here. It's DUFM. I'll put a language warning on it, but it's by Alexis Fernandez. Its actual title is Do You Effing Mind? And that she is a neuroscientist who talks about thinking and how thinking about thinking changes your brain.
Okay.
So,
on a Friday, I don't think. Friday afternoons are like, no. I don't send emails because I'll stuff them up.
And then we've got a good old Freakonomics Radio. So the good old school movie Freakonomics, they now have a podcast of how things that are seemingly unrelated, chaos theory, are actually related. Like, okay, so if you're going to name your child something with wealth, they're going to be wealthy. If you're going to name their child something associated with poverty, it's more likely that they're going to end up. Yeah, there's actual academic research around this.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Andrew and her rabbit holes. However, my
Yes.
family have fixed my fire stick, so less rabbit holes at the moment.
Good.
Then our producers' picks are Diary of a CEO. This is one of our producers' picks as well. I love that one of because it's no hard barred podcast as well. No such thing of a fish, staples in podcast world. They are the QI elves, by the way. So they are unhinged. Unhinged in a good way. It's PG rated, but it's all their favourite facts that didn't make QI that week. Then the Y-Files. And I like that one because it's a masterclass in media literacy, internet law, urban legends, because his end of it is it true? What did he find as sources? Then the telepathy tapes has been an interesting one and reinforced our idea of just because a person is non-verbal doesn't mean they have nothing to say, as well. And then the talk tracks, Get Down with Sean and Marley, and shout out to Diary of a Support Worker, her YouTube channel on TikTok. She does on the ground support of what it is really like, really simple strategies to prevent meltdowns, community access as well, and simple stuff like that as well.
But very helpful stuff.
Oh, exceedingly helpful. And then some TED Talks I found. Um, Stay with me on this one.
Yeah.
Um, TED Talks of the power of fangirls and what happens when you let children design cities. They deserve their own media shout out, but the power of fangirls. And yes, we are using a trope here, but have you ever seen a disorganized fandom community? Shout out to the One Direction when Liam Payne died. They were that organized that they were able to have an honor guard outside the hotel room so paparazzi couldn't get a photo. They That to me is the epitome of Gen Z respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I was a hiring manager, and I have done this in the past when I have been in the power to hire, if I was hiring a junior, one of the questions is what tandems are you in? I have never in my life hiring seen a disorganized fan person. They want the money for the tickets, for the Comic Con.
Yeah.
And good on them. Probably someone said in their life we can't afford it, get a job. So what did they do?
Yeah. Exactly.
And then what happens when you let children design cities is about civil engineering, the way children see the world of they look at it for okay, there was a place in New York that they were actually working on. And it was a very underused area, but it was near the Hudson River. And so they were like, well, can we have water cannons there that we can shoot people? No, you can't. But that got turned into, well, there was illegal dumping in this area. They could have spotlights on the person. Of, okay, well, why is the library over here where there's no bus routes, but there's a bus route here? So they actually moved the library to where this area was. They had low cost food trucks. So the kids that were looking for something to do, oh, low cost food truck. The library had bands, they had talking, they had education. So it's all around that. And one of the cutest photos is these primary schoolers seeing emotion go through council, and the council had to hire 20 booster seats. It was literally a lesson in civics of
Yeah.
okay,
and that's the thing, like, they've got to live in that city. They've got to do all of that stuff. Like, why? And when you look at it, I mean, what's Minecraft all about? Building things.
And again, it's building communities.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's been in the Minecraft movie, there's actually a reference to a YouTuber who has passed on due to cancer, Technoblade. There's a reference to him. So don't discount internet, but this is what we're saying is go and touch real grass occasionally.
Yeah, that's right. Don't let yourself get bogged down into it, and don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you see. It's think for yourself still around different things, like but it is a great source of information, education, everything, but be aware of the fakeness that could be there as well.
And with education, what quality is it? Is it accredited? Is it not accredited? Because I'm running into that problem at the moment. Is it accredited? Is it unaccredited?
Yeah.
But at the same time, LinkedIn Learning is accredited in Australia. Coursera is accredited in Australia. It's just Allison isn't accredited. But for continuing education, I think it would be completely fine because it's showing your employer, especially in support work, because there's like communication, there's writing, but I don't think you can learn hoisting through a YouTube video.
No, I know. This is the thing. How do you teach manual handling with a video? I mean, people have to do it themselves. They have to experience it. If you're going to be teaching a hoist, put that person in the sling. Let them see what it feels like to be in the sling, hanging in the air at the mercy of someone that's behind that hoist.
You know what I have done recently is a one that occupational therapy students and speech therapy students do is eating on someone else's timetable and how that can lead to choking.
Oh, yes, yes.
So for our audio listeners, and I think it's only our audio listeners because my phone is out of storage. Again, Bob and I are running behind on life admin. It's my problem, not Bob's, to be very clear. Because Andrea's a bit of a chaos gremlin at times. We'll have our day planned.
Too much coffee.
Not so much that is we'll have our day planned. And then other things get in the way. Phone calls.
Yeah, hello. Welcome to my world.
But then there's also a Netflix one, again, trigger warning, that goes into Tor 4chan as well. It's literally called True Crime and Investigation one. We're going to put this one in. It's literally called Don't F with Cats.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes into, like, how lives can be destroyed through people solving the crime better than the police. The police are bound by codes of ethics, rules of evidence, chain of custody. And it potentially ruins someone's life, this thing. And how many content creators have you seen cancelled for something that they've had an untidy room? Hello, they might be recording and then tidying it. Yes, if you're going to record in your bedroom, tidy your room. But yeah, and then the other one, bear with me for these, for film and storytelling. And one actually crosses over film, storytelling, history, and education. Bear with me, stay with me on this one. The Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars is World War II, but make it space.
Yeah.
Think about
Absolutely.
the trade unions' race to power. He's cleaning up the factories. He blocks trade routes. He's anti-unionist. The Death Star is an absolute metaphor for the camps.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just having a moment going, hang on.
Yeah, I just want to go and watch it on cinema now. I want a big screen experience.
I want to go and see Grogu and the Mandalorian. That and they're doing epilepsy-friendly versions of the Mario Kart movie as well.
Oh, nice. Good.
Because I couldn't see it, but they've redone the scene where it is Trigger.
Oh, yeah.
Because the cinematography of the top scene where they're dropping you into the go-kart is amazing. Just not safe for me to watch because they're doing it from 3D perspective as if they are literally dropping you onto the Rainbow Road. They've done it through voice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Hence why I am A, going with Bob, B, doing it during the daytime, C, going to the epilepsy friendly version. So they're having the lights on, they're leaving the doors open too, but it has been reshot of this way is very similar to the opening of Mario Kart, where they're like Ready Player One, choose your engine. They're doing that on a small thing with black and white framing, and then it opens up to you being on the Rainbow Road, which is a lot, not as cinematography, but a lot safer.
Yeah.
And the other one for film and storytelling, the Lorax.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes.
The Lorax Dr. Seuss as well.
I watched the end of Cat in the Hat the other night.
Oh, finally got through it.
Yes. Where we had to fix the house and very good.
I've got to say with Brownies, the Lorax is always a favourite movie.
Yes.
I actually like yes, it is an environmentalist message in there, but the movie and the original
book. That's a good thing. I like that the way it's teaching our children to think that way.
And this is the thing, Dr. Seuss, it was about education. It was about thinking.
Yeah.
Also, The Places You'll Go is another one that
Yeah.
deserves a shout out as well. And then there are moments in time, this is me being unkind, where there are moments in time where I feel we're living the plot of this movie, Idiocracy.
Mm.
So yeah, you know where I'm
Yeah,
going.
and look, sometimes you just got to unplug and you got to step back from the world and from people, because sometimes
People will people.
Well, sometimes there's a level of stupidity that you just kind of can't fathom, and it's just like, how how are you walking around and managing to live a life, and yet you think like this, like, you know, there's really it's just, yeah, it's just amazing sometimes.
The way I phrase it is using my kind words. Is people will people.
They will. They will. And that's fine. Let them do that, but just don't do it in my space too often, because I can't handle it.
Guys, I've been like, yeah. I know what you're saying there. In fact, one of my big things at work, and look, at work we have a great customer cohort because we are a specialist pharmacy, and you're coming to us for a very specific reason,
Yeah.
whether that be stockings, moon boots, compounding,
CPAP,
or just general excellence in service. We might just be the nearest chemist type of thing, because we are on a major highway and opposite a hospital. So it might be that, well, someone's been put in hospital, crap, they need toothpaste.
Well, that's right. You know, it's a convenience of your location as well. But I mean, the compounding thing is very interesting to me, like making medication to, you know, suit actual people, and not just a pill that is for everybody, kind of like, you know, it doesn't work that way. Everybody's chemically different, and to actually have the medication be made to suit that person, I think is pretty amazing.
And however, I was very sad the other day because there is something that we can no longer sell because the ingredients aren't even manufactured anymore. It's if you know, you know, Dr. Preble's bum cream.
Okay.
Yeah,
Rightio.
Dr. Preble was a local pediatrician, and it was before nappy creams were commercially available. So that's how long my workplace has been around. And yeah,
Wow.
I think I've just doxed myself by mentioning that, but my boss does know I do content as well. So yeah, but media, and again, what we've been banging on about for the last 4 episodes is it's okay to switch off as well. Um, from the media, from the news, finding something nice on an, oh my god, chaotic energy for Great British showing there, and a little bit, and what type of a timeline, and good luck to them, and good on them, that Clarkson, for all of his faults, Jeremy Clarkson,
Yes.
good on for the Hawks and Choir. They won on their own. Apparently, he just provided the space and the financial support. They did the rest. And that is what we're needing for our farmers internationally. CWA literally started out for farmers' wives to get together for their mental health.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
You will find
It's very
the farmers
isolating.
at the country pub. The other one I have discovered, 7 Plus, Shane Jacobson on a Sunday night. No, Saturday night. Oops, I accidentally bought a pup.
Oh, yes. Yes. I was over at my parents' last weekend, and
So was I, by the way.
yeah, and they were watching it, and I thought, oh, that's actually quite good.
So now all of the Top Gear team, except the new ones that are filming Top Gear for BBC Now, are all pub owners.
Oh, good on them.
James May in London.
Why not?
Richard Hammond, a bar at Silverstone.
Yeah.
Location. He's an owner, not Jeremy Clarkson, obviously the farmer's dog. Now Shane Jacobson, because he filled in when they were in Australia for Richard Hammond. I know because I was lucky enough to get my ass down to see them.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And guys, this is another thing. Capacity building could be booking tickets for an arena spectacular.
Yeah.
And okay, especially
just,
if that
just
person
going
has
and doing that and
meltdown.
socializing and being in a crowd and handling that and being able to manage to wait in line and do all of those things that you need to do just to attend a concert or a show or any of those kinds of things. Like, it's all capacity building, really. It's just the way that you look at it.
Well, pardon me. Yeah, like I'm going to the circus on the weekend as well because we've got Hutchinson Circus in our area.
So you're going to learn how to ride elephants.
No, they're placing me near the door, and we're going because they are doing one only sensory session. So with the Globe of Death with the motorcycle riders, they're not doing the strobe lighting.
Oh, okay.
And we are maybe taking some little people that are in my life. Plausible deniability because they've asked them to remain off the internet, so plausible deniability.
Absolutely.
This is the other one that I agree with, and it's a huge debate at the moment. That if you are recording clients, make sure you have their full informed consent.
Yes, absolutely. Because once it's out there, it is out there.
This is where I have a concern with using particularly teens and young people in your marketing that are essentially in the work skills courses. Have you just made them getting a job impossible? Because the first thing an employer does is Google your name even before you have the interview.
Yes, checks. Yep, of course they do. They check Facebook. They check WhatsApp. They check all different kinds of media things to see who you are and what kind of stuff you're putting out there. They're checking.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is it like who is consenting? Do they know the reality of this? Okay, cooking with Sean and Marley, that poor support worker must be stressed because the support worker is a producer.
Oh, okay.
And she's behind the camera. Yeah, that support work, that is an epitome of informed consent. That's capacity building.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they are the ones running the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm the one running the show here, which is slightly scary.
Yeah, sometimes.
But I have been doing the right act offline of I need to give myself a lot more credit that
yes, absolutely.
I expect. Like, yeah. So guys, answer time. Do you want to know how many media tropes we use? Without realizing it, we use 14 media tropes. We use the media trope of Two Broke Girls, the greasy spoon.
Yeah.
The isolated loner, Sheldon, Big Bang Theory. Don't the Manosphere, Red Pill Movement. We obviously referenced him outright, Louis Theroux with Don't F with Cat.
Oh, yeah.
Then we actually did something quite sneaky. We did Did you see the moon working bear with your rants? We put those in deliberately of, are you paying attention? Hang on, is this the right episode? Then our books are all, our cooking book is a trope. Yeah, the Stephanie Alexander cookbook is a trope. So, guys, we are running out of time, but yeah, there was 13 tropes in there. See what others, guys, play along, see what other tropes you guys can spot as well. And the other one, I've got a few TikTokers as well. Yeah, just a few. If you wanted to, guys, is
At least there's somewhere.
it's on our other run sheet, girlfriend. Again, me being disorganized. So TikTok creators to shout out to, is and this is TikTok and YouTube because of time. So we're going to say internet creators for this.
Okay. Yep.
Is Dad How Do I? So that's around life skills, changing a tire, cooking a simple meal.
Yep.
Tying a tie. Into the Shadows, which is um explores real internet mysteries type of thing, but in a we don't talk about these, removing the taboo. Friendly Geordies. Obviously, we need to point out he is politically, and he is Labor Party and very unionist, so be aware of that. But does a lot of factual reporting on NDIS, Gina Reinhardt, and those who are the real power brokers in Australia.
Yeah.
TikTok creators, Rapid Fire, Dylan Hollis, Beans, if you know, you know, Mama Cusses, and I love her thing around food rules. So that's where I get my food things from. Of all food is good, bad food is food that you're allergic to, expired, etc. Mum chats and dad chats, because Mum is talking about translating what Dad has said in the previous reel. And yeah, it is wild. Go and follow them. Go and follow them. Another nightshade who accidentally started a cult online. However, her tagline for the cult is that we drink coffee and not Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah, she started a cult as an April Fool's joke that now American soldiers can have on the text.
Okay.
Prinny and John, which is cross-generational friendships. Jessica Kilgard Froza, that we've talked about in the other episode. Alicia Matthews, Friday. She is a professional advocate, by the way, as well. So we have to be clear with our media bias. She is a professional disability advocate around policy. So for full disclosure, we probably needed to do that. Joanna, as her Unlearned 63, she is a Canadian history teacher. She is the one who pointed out that Star Wars is World War II, but make it space.
Yeah.
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 Diary of a Support Worker as well. And Caitlin, I don't know her last name, Life on the Bridge. Caitlin, she is a Canadian autism advocate as well. So that one is there. And of course, don't forget your Reddit and Facebook as well. So yeah. So closing thoughts for me is media literacy isn't knowing everything. It's knowing when to question the narrative, question where it comes.
That's
and
right.
The other thing that we haven't mentioned, AI. AI.
Yes. There's a lot of AI coming through in the memes and reels and things now. Heaps and heaps of AI.
And so knowing what's using AI is a tool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great tool.
But knowing what is the difference between AI slop and because AI will be confidently wrong. Like, oh yeah, it will be confidently wrong. I'm a member of Solving Cicada, and it told me that Cicada that there's no such thing as a Libra Primus puzzle. Like, hang on a minute, dude.
Well, I suppose it's only pulling. It's just like it just pulls information out of wherever it can, and it just compiles it. So it's just like a information sorter, I suppose, isn't it? To a degree.
And it's with a large language model. It is getting better as we train it and more users are training.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
But you have to ask. What I found is ask it to sanity check itself as well, type of thing. And go, no, here's the reference, here's the article. I've had ChatGPT apologize to me. What world are we living in that I'm using ChatGPT as proofreading where it's apologizing to me? Like, I use it as the final check proofreading for grammar and stuff like that. And I always say AI, it is for me an accessibility tool. But it's interesting when the Pope has come out and said it is a threat because of information literacy as well.
Well, yeah, I guess so. But I mean, I think it's going to be a very good tool used properly. And I think, there's obviously huge potential for it to be abused and a lot more fake stuff to be put out there through that. And, and it comes across, like you say, so believable.
And also with your AI slop and AI art, is becoming an issue that you used to be able to spot it with a human with, say, 6 fingers or something like that, or it just didn't look right. But now it's come so far advanced, it's not just using Photoshop to edit. It's stealing from small creators.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So be aware if you're putting your art on Tumblr, AO3, read the terms and conditions. They are training AI on those.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, online learning as well. Support Alison, Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, your local libraries as well.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if you're independent, join a guild, be in your union, go to the networking events.
And I think people forget that media is not just what you're watching, what you're seeing. It's what you're reading, what you're seeing in the paper, what you're seeing on billboards around you. It's, there's so much media around you in different forms that, it can it can be very overloading. And I think that's where it's good, like people do the sea change or the tree change, and they do that for the reason that their brain needs a rest.
Yeah. And again, another media one that I didn't even think about is the Gruen transfer. So they talk about media, and one of their things is, because it is all advertisers, they actually expose tips and tricks. Like the Gruen is actually where that comes from is a psychological technique in marketing called the Gruen transfer. It's why the milk and the bread are at two different sections of the grocery store.
Absolutely.
Because you've got to walk past all the things. It's why the lollies are near the checkout. Mum, that was good. Okay.
Yeah. The milk's always down in the back corner.
Yeah.
Makes you walk through everything. And the music, it's about the music that you're hearing.
And no light.
Yep. Yeah, there's so much. And, that's all research and data that they've all pulled together. And, and like the other day, I went to, where was I? I was at Coles. And I thought, oh, I just need this and this. And $100 later, I walked out and I thought, oh my God.
Well,
there goes my budget.
This is where I don't go shopping unsupervised. It's Bob.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is because I am impulsive.
Yeah.
And I research decisions. Like we are going to upgrade my camera once I go through my Google storage.
Yep.
Type of thing. Anyway, I was just thinking it's a windy weekend Saturday. Guess what I'm going to do? But guys, it's literally about asking the questions, understanding context.
Yeah.
Context matters. Is this the supermarket jingle that they want you to remember so you go to that supermarket? Is it checking your sources? Like it's kind of the one I use is, and I use this all the time at work. It's kind of different to reading an article on PubMed or a repository, an actual scientific published article, versus a wellness blogger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Context matters.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's all mixed. It's sorting through it as well. And sometimes it's just like, oh, I just can't be bothered. Like, there's just too much.
Exactly. So, guys, it's about staying curious as well. So, guys, stay curious. Guys, drop it in the comments. What did we miss? Books, podcasts, creators, documentaries, films that you reckon for media literacy we should watch? Radio. Yeah. Art Bell Coast to Coast is now on YouTube as well.
Okay.
But they're saying that the Y-Files, AJ and his team at the Y-Files is the new Art Bell, they're saying as well. Also, guys, shout out to those who are doing Contact in the Desert this weekend as well. Debbie's giving me the side.
Okay.
Contact in the Desert is quite literally.
Get out more.
Well, no, you don't. You've got to get out of her niches. Contact in the Desert, it started out from the Invade Area 51.
Yeah.
And then it turned into Invade Area. And it's a conference where people who are on the fringes of society present their findings. So people like Graham Hancock, Gino from the Y-Files is there. And it's all about UFOs, unidentified aerial phenomena, people who are on the fringes of science. And I think on the other side of the American coast is megalithic mania, where they've realised that people like Graham Hancock might have a point. Graham Hancock, Kate Burdock. Kate Burdock, we have great respect for with what she's done with on the homeland. So basically, what this is where people who can't get published in any other form for archaeology, history, alternative science, alternative timelines, can go and present their findings. And it's also interdisciplinary teams, because there was a very famous case of a painting where someone was like, oh, that ear must have been done like that for religious reasons. They took it to a piercer and they went, oh, someone fucked up with that piercing.
Yeah.
And again, used for religious reasons, they had these circles with bricks in Afghanistan. A local sighed deeply. It was so the chicks couldn't get out, but the mother could get to the corn. So it's things like that of real things like that. But Debbie, where you're at, your books are obviously closed at the moment.
No, I'm looking at taking on another support coordinator, probably in the next couple of months.
Team of 3 now?
Yes, yeah, and the IT and my admin / IT. Yep. But yeah, just because, and I spoke with David the other day, and we talked about the fact that we've got some pretty complex people on board, and as 20% of people will take 80% of your time, but we're trying to break that down so that we can spread that and make sure everybody's covered. So I don't like the feeling that I'm missing out on some people or not having enough contact. So we bring another support coordinator in and spread that out a little bit and make that work better for everybody. But yeah, I still find it really difficult to say no to people when I know that they need the help. And that's, I guess that's just me.
Yeah.
We just do that.
And guys, I've just done a life update video. It's just got to go to our producer. Why I haven't done the life update video on the YouTube is because there's been nothing to update. I've been that boring coasting along type
Which
of
is
thing.
a good thing. Like, after, because what was it, 12 months the other day you were saying 12 months since the move, which is not, it's not necessarily a bad thing when you move houses and
I have learnt
start again.
And I've learnt the lessons that I needed to learn around privacy, running your own race, and that different support styles suit different people.
Yeah.
And also, I do believe that the move was sent by the universe because I'm much closer to my parents because they were able to retire. I'm 2 bus stops away from both of my sisters as well. Depending on the new bus timetable, but I think I'm still just 2 bus stops away from both of them as well, because my dad has had major dental surgery.
And you managed to find your way over here the other day.
Oh, yeah.
How many bus stops was that?
I don't know, but it was 3 buses, but that was because, and that's why I got read the riot act, that's why it was so long, because I was on the wrong side of the road for the bus route. I was going out of town, not into town.
Oh, okay.
So I should have changed at Grand Central at the first place, not at the uni.
Oh, right. But I mean, that's just a learning thing. And, because you're doing it during the day as well, gave you the opportunity to experience the wrong things, but not in a bad way.
And this is where the bus training, the rubber hits the road.
Yeah.
Bob no longer needs to teach me to get on this bus and meet me at the other end.
Yeah.
She knows that she'll get a text, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
yeah.
because Bob is independent, we do text. We text shifts if I'm not where I'm supposed to be.
Well, and the thing is, like, that's life, though.
It is. And again, thank you for our Patreon members as well. We're up to 19 followers on Spotify. So, guys, 80% of our listeners are returning viewers but not followers. So, guys, that really, really helps us to get into monetization. And that means for us, it doesn't mean ad bombing you. That means we can get into a proper studio with proper sound as well. So, guys, please like, share, subscribe, and be kind to each other. And guys, be kind to your support staff. Guys, be kind to your support staff as well.
Yeah.
I want to reinforce that. I can't say why, but be kind to your support staff. Even as simple as saying please or thank you, asking, remembering that no is a reasonable answer. There's a reason they've said no. It might be no, not yet. Have you checked with your trustee? Do you have the money? There's a reason they've said no. They won't always say flat out no. There's a process they have to go through.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
As well. So,
Yeah.
any final thoughts?
No, just be kind to each other and look out for each other and lift each other up. And just don't get bogged down by everybody else's opinions or everybody else's thoughts. Do your own thing.
I think that's a good way to close, Dr. Seuss. There's no one newer than you.
Yeah.
You or me. And then the rabbits, is you are you and I am me as well. So they're quotes from kids' books that I live by. See you guys.
Bye.